back.
We're live! Welcome back to the second inhibitor tournament, where we're going to be bringing you some of the most high-impact games we've seen. This is going to be game 2 of this 2-game set between teams that I forget their names of. But it's going to be essentially team with tails on it versus team with OMG I got kicked on.
Yep, pretty much.
That's about it.
Fail versus Zings are LG.
Zings are LG.
Zings are LG. Right on. So last game we definitely saw Jace, pretty big showing here, and we called last time that purple team should be banning Jace, and that they do. Are we going to be seeing round 3 of OMG I Got Gank's Rise? Which is tough, man. It was,
First pick it. Let's see it.
it's
Be brave.
so tough. Well, it could be Rumble too. I mean, Rumble. He plays a lot of Rumble, and I think his Rumble does a lot better in that top lane than his Rise does. But there's so many factors in this.
I'm surprised because there's so many champions that can be played top right now that are like are played in other roles. You know what I mean? Like Lee Sin is a fantastic top laner right now. He could play Aurelia, Jarvan. You know what I mean? There's all these picks. Even like Raga's top wouldn't be bad. Or they take the other route and they go for the lane swap and avoid the 1v1 because it's just not working out for him so far.
Yeah. I just want to point out right now, by the way, how many characters are open that are so big.
Jax is open.
Yeah, Jax is up, Elise is up. Where's my other ones? LeBlanc is up, Ziggs is up.
Lucian.
Yeah, Lucian. Just so many big ones. And we got to see which way they go on this one. So there's Ziggs. Is going to be possibly grabbed right away here. And if they're open, grab them. Don't wait for counterpicking to happen here. Morgana as well, obviously a really big choice here, and they lock it in right away. These guys are just on the ball. They know what they want, and they are not going to take their time waiting this one out. Not to mention they've had a lot of time to talk about this, so they're going to grab those ones as fast as possible. You know, one thing actually that we haven't seen this whole time is Trundle. He's a big boy right now, and the fact that nobody's been grabbing him is kind of odd for me.
Yeah, he. I don't know. I feel like the champion pool is just, they're a little bit limited. I feel like there might be a little bit of some role swaps or something going on here.
All right.
There's so many strong champions that just are getting left in.
LeBlanc, by the way. There it is. And by the way, I really like Karma against a Morgana because you can get out the black shield with next to no pressure really put on. You can throw out a Q, and that's justification for Morgana to throw out that black shield. This is just to get rid of some of that damage there. And then after that, obviously, your cooldowns are going to... I think you can fire 3 Qs in the time that Morgana can fire 1 black shield out. So, pretty key there. Lucian is going to be grabbed up right away, so this is just all top-tier picks. Anda is hovering over Fiddlesticks. I really don't like that right now. Yeah. I don't think that's a good way to go.
Very risky.
I think it should be a little bit of a stronger, tankier choice.
But...
And I'm holding on to a champion right now. I'm about to pass him off to you, because I feel like he's coming up.
It's, Fiddlesticks is a great champion. It's just very risky, picking him that early. I mean, it's good against LeBlanc, but it's the same way that Zyra is going to get erased. Okay, there we go. Makes sense. Thank you. I didn't want to see that happen that way.
Jarvan's going to be grabbed up here. For a second there, I thought Cassidy made it through the choices, but no, it's actually going to be Lee Sin. Lee Sin is going to be locked in here, and we will see what is the fate for this top lane and 80 carry. I wouldn't mind seeing actually Varus come out with this team. I think Varus would be a pretty good fit, as would Caitlyn.
A lot of poke for the bottom lane, for sure.
Yeah, Caitlyn, no, it looks like Corky's going to be hovered over here. And Jax, actually, really strong choice. It's just the comfort level. Is he actually comfortable on Jax? It's tough to call, man. I can't say that I've ever seen him play it, but Jax is just so strong alone as a champion. And he is a high skill cap, definitely a very high skill cap. But if you're gonna roll him, I don't see really too many flaws with that champion. Do I get to throw away this Rise?
I don't know.
I think so, yeah. Corky's going to be, I think, locked in here. Nope, Kog'Maw, actually.
Oh.
There you go, yeah. So the reason I was saying Varus, just because for the lockdown, you allow from a distance, you allow Jax to get in there. I think Ashe would have been a pretty good fit as well. So locking that down would have been pretty good, but it's going to be Kog'Maw locked in at the end. That's a good team, too. Kog'Maw and Karma, really, really nice matchup.
A lot of really strong late game power. Kog'Maw's so good, too, because he can kill the front line while also killing the back line with his ult. And if you're a good Kog'Maw, which I know Zig is a great player, so I wouldn't be surprised, he's just such an insanely strong champion. And when you're against a lane like Morgana, where there's not that much pressure, you can farm up and you can be okay and you can get to that late game, especially if you have something like a Morgana, a Karma to counter that Morgana.
I'm going to call it. Jarvan going top lane.
You think so?
No.
Rango.
Uh-oh. No, it's going to be Renekton. All right, that's a smart choice. You know what? Renekton, really standard stuff here. If you're confident on Renekton, honestly, you're just generally confident, I think, in the top lane. I know I play a lot of top lane. I just don't like playing Renekton. I think he's way too, top of the meta right now. There's no cheese factor. Everybody knows, exactly everything about him, how much damage he's going to do, depending on how much armor you got. It's kind of boring. But if you play him well, why not pick him up? Honestly, he's just too good.
He's the Lulu or Orianna of mid lane, you know? He's the champion that's super safe. You know what he's going to do. You're never, unless you make a mistake, you're not going to fall behind. You've got such a strong lane phase. And he's really good against Jax, too, so good pick.
Not to mention, look how well-centered our graphics are.
I know.
Beautiful.
I know.
Really well done.
It's incredible.
Round of applause. It only took 7 games. Actually, no, this is game 6, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, game 6. Right on. So what do we got after this? We got this and then one more 2 game?
We got the Don't Let Me Fall versus AoE box.
Yep.
And then AoE box determines their fate against 5th place's best.
So this will be, so we have 2 sets.
You might have one more game because the other game is going to be played very soon.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see how that all plays out. One thing I'm going to do here, and we haven't done this recently, or we haven't done this at all, so I want to take, and this is why it's so great to be a caster, and it helps you out a lot. So I'm going to take a little peek into the rune setup here from Elise, and of course, to be fair, I'm going to have to look at the other jungle as well. But Elise rocking out 18 armor at level 18, so 1 armor per level. Armor pen. How do you like that? 8.1 armor pen.
I'm pretty sure he's doing
hybrids.
Yeah, he's doing hybrids. Yeah, which is that's pretty standard for Elise.
Yeah. So hybrid pen marks cooldown glyphs.
Yep.
Interestingly
that
enough,
synergizes with his the build that he went last game, where he got that maxing the E second and getting those cooldown boots.
Yeah. And then the flat ability power on his Quince. So he's gonna be starting out with a lot of damage. I think that's just more so for jungle clear. If you're looking for a late game team fight, you're probably going to want the magic pen instead, just so you can get those percentage damages to be as close to true damage as possible. On the opposite end, in the masteries, it's 21-9-0, so not going for the runic affinity, instead going for a whole heck of a lot of damage. And a lot of that's the hybrid stuff, so spell weaving, blade weaving. Going for more hybrid damage, which makes sense considering you're almost guaranteed going to get on somebody, especially if you land that cocoon.
The offensive tree is just so much better than all the other trees,
Yeah.
It's just, you get so much more out of it.
Yeah. Not quite as good as apple trees. Alright, so let's take a look here at the enemy jungle, which, by the way, I forgot who that character was.
Yep.
Lee Sin. So it's going to be Lee Sin, and in terms of his runes, he's going to be rocking something significantly different. 72 flat health, 11 flat magic resist, 11 flat physical damage, and 9.2 flat armor. I really like flat flat runes in general on Lee Sin because you want to abuse the early and mid game as opposed to getting into that late game. The later the game goes, I think the worse Lee Sin's going to do. Masteries here, and again, going for that 21-9. He's got the spell weaving, but not blade weaving, and he's rocking out all the way down that first tree, second tree, ending with Juggernaut, so 3% maximum health, which works very well considering he's got 72 flat health.
Yep, that's obviously him just trying to accentuate his early game power.
Absolutely. So good stuff coming out there, and you can see the beautiful board here. If you're looking into buying this, we're going to have a silent auction for it at the end of our tournament. We're expecting a starting bid of at least $1,500.
Yep.
So if you're interested, definitely come out to Dave's place. We'll have one single item set up, and it'll be in.
It's beautiful though.
It'll be in the
It
front
doesn't
room.
do it justice off this. Off
It
the
really
camera.
doesn't. No. All right. So I'm pretty excited on this one. I think this is probably going to be one of the best games that we have all day.
I think so. It's the they've had a little bit of a break, so the momentum's not going to be as big of an issue. But it's either the 2-0 or the 1-1. So let's see who wants to win. You know.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to point out that the Renekton skin going into this one is
Ooh,
complete
fancy.
bullshit. He literally, his torso is inside of a furnace.
Yeah, man.
You know how bullshit that is?
Yeah, you can't be in a furnace.
Nothing survives. It's a furnace. Like it incinerates. That's where people go to be cremated, essentially.
Isn't that kind of like what the Xerath skin is too? The scorched earth Xerath skin.
Well, he's made out of like weird particles
Yeah,
and
I
magic.
guess.
Renekton is like he's a
Scorched earth.
crocodile.
Yeah, scorched earth means that you destroy a city or land so the enemy can't take it, not your own torso.
Yeah.
That's different.
You'll never take me.
Guys, just so you know, Sean is placing a bid for $1,600
All right, easy.
for the board.
Easy.
Okay.
Okay,
we got
great.
We got that in writing, please.
We have a. We do have a bid. Did somebody place 15? Like, why is he starting so high?
He's just anticipating.
I was figuring we were going to start at 15 and then go up $1
He's
from
a
there.
shrewd bidder.
Yeah. He just wants to bid everyone
He's
out.
constantly buying whiteboards and like storage containers.
All right, so we do have a bid, and that's Tails, right?
Nope. Sean is
Zig.
first Draven.
Hmm?
Draven, that's right.
First
Yeah.
time Draven.
I'm all over the map. I just chose the 80 carry from 3 different teams. You know.
He's some guy.
Yeah.
It's the TLC admin, man.
He is.
Oh,
He's a superpowers.
Yeah.
Straight up superpowers.
First time Draven?
Yeah, we didn't get to see him play Draven, so
Oh, bummer.
He got banned every time.
he did. Yeah, I would have. Man, I've wanted to see the box play Myra so bad.
Yeah.
I would just do that as a bluff. Name yourself like best.
We were talking about
best
that. Yeah.
Renekton NA, and
Yeah.
just make them ban it every game.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
said in the
Yeah.
beginning. And
She don't listen to.
Genius. It's okay.
just
I don't
proves
listen
it.
to you either.
It's more than
You're just here for whiteboards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although for the most part, I don't know why they do that. For the most part, it's 100% true that if that character's name,
Yeah.
that's what they play. Why
Yeah.
would you ever
Like,
do that?
Only Jack Smiths? Like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
Come on.
so silly. Except for Fabi, he plays mostly what, Vayne and Draven.
Yeah.
But
A little bit of
Fabi
Caitlyn.
really doesn't signify anything.
Yeah.
But when you get well known as the gatekeeper.
I had a friend who played Scion only, AP Scion only, and we'd play Go for LOL, and there'd be people that he'd met in solo queue, and like he wasn't even he had used to play AP Scion and he moved to AD, and he was still drawing the Scion bans every time. So maybe there's something there, you know, if you're like switching positions or something. But
That's crazy.
like maybe if only your first Draven NA was playing mid, you could take some Draven bans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look here at how bullshit this is. Literally, do you see his shirt? That's a grill for a furnace. No. Let's go back to that. Where is he? There you go. Okay, see? And his arms are in miniature furnaces.
30 seconds until
I don't think this is fair. Anyways, we got a fight about to break out here. Furnace Man going up against the Jack Smiths. Clearly, Crocodile should be dead by now, but he's just going to walk out of there no problem. Ward's going down, which, again, you know what? I'm going to point this out, and this is a legitimate thought. I don't like that wards, the warding trinket can now be placed at 30 seconds in. It just deters level 1 actions so much, and I know that's what they were going for, but I think it's so important to add that factor into the game. Oh, a nice little play there by LeBlanc. That was really cute.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I know what you're saying. I just wish that you had to buy the wards to get that advantage. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
That's the thing.
I mean, the wards are there. They're cheap. They're easy. Stick them down.
Yeah.
Remember when wards had actual HP that you had to, like, burst through? And then how Nidalee traps could reveal
That was
them?
my favorite thing. Dude.
Oh, God.
I just like would get so lucky dropping traps and like get free ward kills.
All right, so Ziggs landing a little bit of damage to start things off. And I don't know why, and maybe you can explain this to me, but why are big push champions like Ziggs with all that AoE, why are they not pushing super hard against LeBlanc? I mean, does she not suffer from the ability to CS poorly?
They do, however, because she wasted her W early like that, he knows that she has no way to retaliate. It's like a 17-second cooldown or something like that for W level 1.
Yeah.
So he can just kind of zone her. She just used it to trade with him right away. So he doesn't need to push in immediately. And it also might have something to do with not knowing where their jungler started. Looks like we see Elise going for an invade though. Or sorry, the Lee Sin going for an invade.
Yeah, and
Blue.
I don't know how that's going to work out. He's got the ward down.
Can we take a look at that? Exactly.
Yeah,
He might have
absolutely.
got it. He did. He picked up the blue. If we could get a replay on that, I don't know. It's probably about 40 seconds ago, maybe a little bit less. I'm not sure if you can do that, but if you can, I'd be interested in seeing that.
Yeah, also Ziggs, by the way, getting some damage off onto this LeBlanc. LeBlanc clearly maxing her jump and not her Q. She's going to take a lot of damage there, even from the satchel at the end. Lee Sin also ensuring that there was no trade back damage when he stepped in there. Teleport going down, and we've seen this so often from OMG I Got Ganked. He just has to go back super, super early, and Jax trades so well, even in the early game, especially against AD Bruisers. He gets to dodge out so much damage, especially against Renekton, who part of his kit is that double strike, and if you can dodge that, I mean, come on.
We should be looking to see all of these lanes basically getting a push. Like, all of them have the ability to do that. And if the Lee Sin is able to continue taking over the Elise's jungle like he started to do already, he'll be able to drop wards and get sight, and they'll be able to know where Elise is and not worry about that pressure. So if Lee Sin can do that, if Dragon Raider can take advantage of the Elise's lack of blue buff, then we can see these lanes snowballing actually just because of the amount that they can push and the amount of harass they can put down.
Yeah, and speaking of harass, looks like Anda going hard here onto Jax. Anda does not have Ignite, however, and Jax doesn't have Flash, so it could go either way at this point, honestly. Jax, I think, is going to be able to exchange pretty decently, but Anda, of course, he does have Flash. And here we go, the jump in. He gets the stun off, but he doesn't have enough mana to continue the pressure here. Dragon Raider steps up into that lane as well. Lee Sin's really just been kind of guarding the lanes.
He looks like he's going for a dive here, though. He did W over the wall.
Yeah, and he's going hard here. He flashes forward even, gets the slowdown. It looks like OMG I Got Ganked. Actually getting ganked here. And will it work out? He needs that E to come back off a cooldown, and Docta perfectly timed. Gets into that lane here. He needs to get up to that tower, though, to actually take advantage of that farm. There's just so much gold being wasted if she can't get in there.
That's funny. The Jack's going back early and picking up that ward and TPing back a lot into the ward.
Uh-oh. Zig gets caught under the tower there, gets snared up perfectly in tower range. Brutal, brutal stuff there, and trying to turn things around is this Karma. Not so good there.
Yeah, I was just saying, him TPing back and grabbing that ward allowed him to have that ward to jump, which is pretty funny, in my opinion.
Yeah. You know.
Oh, wow.
Alright, so looks like things are kind of stabilizing here, though Ziggs is chasing down Mr. Jiggly. He will jump away from this one. Doesn't have level 6 quite yet, so can't double jump, but at the very least will get away, no problem. Such a long range ability, that jump. Ions and Tails, though, even though they got that really nice catch under tower, they are suffering down here. They are just, I think, you know, I hate to say it, but I think at this point it's, you know, it's reasonable to say that they're kind of getting outplayed in this lane.
Well, it's the Karma, right? She's just so damn strong. So she basically 1v2s the lane. She has so much harass, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ooh, and Ions takes that Q to the face, though does have the spell shield to counter it. Not so bad there. And OMG, I Got Ganked. Man, he just... You know what I think might be part of the issue is that he's used to playing mid lane, where you're looking to exchange all the time, and you want to be aggressive all the time because you're a burst. But in the top lane, man, sometimes you just gotta relax and farm.
The early level 6, if he had landed that chain, he probably could have killed him, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's different, definitely, trading melee against melee, you know? Being, like, up close and personal and CSing while also trading.
Yeah.
There's definitely quite a bit of skill and technique in that.
For sure. Now he's getting a little bit low on mana here, and he's only level 4 compared to Renekton's level 6.
Look at the CS.
47 to 17. That is not a good feeling. Not to mention, Renekton's building damage, so I always say in the top lane, if you're ahead, you get to cheat by building damage. You know, top laners typically need to be building tanky, and so that when you step into the game later on, into the team fight phase, you actually get to...
Here comes the dive.
Yeah, diving in there. He has Ignite, and he's got the first blood going down there. Just way too much damage, and You know, and he's been in the top lane, I think, a little bit longer than Got Ganked has been.
He knew as soon as that Jackson went down, he still had no flash, and he knew what he could do. He knew his damage. He knew it was a free kill, essentially.
Yeah. So Dragon Raider is going to be just clearing up his red buff right now. This is round 2 of the buffs. 7 minutes and 30 seconds, right on point. And Brokenhearted not getting snared up there, so a little bit of a miss from LeBlanc. And I can't blame him, honestly. Even though he's playing at top level, aiming everything from LeBlanc when your character's moving around on the screen, it's actually pretty tough. So for her to be missing there.
Not to mention, the better the player, the harder it is to hit on them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
And Zig's actually, you know, not very standard. He moved closer to the LeBlanc to dodge that, so smart stuff.
The thing about LeBlanc is that you need to be able to get that trade back, right, once you W in, instead of just letting him get a free trade.
Yeah.
And, yeah, great play by Ziggs. Obviously knows the matchup.
Yeah, so, and then again, I want to point out this bottom lane. It looks like Karma and Kog'Maw are actually down in CS, about 10 CS right now, but they're clearly winning these exchanges. And like you had said about the Kog'Maw last time we saw him, he was just too aggressive. He wasn't focusing on CSing, so in that regard, he was getting behind a little bit. In the end, of course, his team ended up winning because Kog'Maw was just shredding people in the late game, and that's where he needs to be to really shine.
Yeah, both teams have pretty good team comps in terms of scaling. Obviously, though, the Kog'Maw and Jax have the advantage, but Lucian's pretty good. He scales really strongly, as well as Ziggs, so...
Just watching this, I don't know why. I'm just like, anytime I talk about CS, I just need to like focus on what they're doing to CS, especially under turret. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Watching top tier players, CS under turret is like gold.
Absolutely.
So Zig is level 6 now. He gets to have a little bit of long range farm.
Wow. Okay, so Renekton has Tiamat, Swope, Vamp, Scepter. That's a huge disparity.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is when you're behind. So I was saying, when you're ahead, you get to cheat up a little bit and build some damage. When you're behind, though, you kind of have to build defensive. Even though Jax, his key item is Blade of the Rune King, you don't need it in lane phase necessarily. It's nice if you can get it, and Ion's just taking it to the face there for normalize. But you fall behind. Defensive items, they're cheaper and they're better for you. It's like your multi-item. You know?
Yeah. It's funny, man. Every single time, almost, it seems like all the lanes are winning except for top. It's just so unfortunate because, like, he wastes the stunning and he goes again. Gets the free tower. And
oh, there's the stun coming out from Necton, and he's continuing forward here. Slice and Dice is going to be a little while away, so he's going to let him go down. But LeBlanc is actually on the back foot here. Is she going to be able to get this kill? Ignite goes down, gets the snare off, and she's just firing auto attacks because she really doesn't have too much, but uses that jump. You can see that she's maxing it first. In the bottom lane, though, Lucian, forced to slide away here, gets snared up, and Kog'Maw with that super long range is going to get that chase out. And then in mid lane, LeBlanc leaves. 2 characters go mid and push it up.
Honestly, he should have more damage on the tower at this point, but he has been pushed into his tower. Not necessarily the most optimal way to play the lane if you really want to win, but he hasn't died against a LeBlanc, which is obviously a very good thing. So understand him playing it safe. His top lane's doing really well, and his bottom lane's doing well. They're winning as well. So smart and safe play. However, in the future, he really needs to be able to punish that roam more. Otherwise, the LeBlanc is just going to be able to assert her dominance all over the map. Especially somewhere bottom where there's somebody like a Kog'Maw you can hit for free nearly.
Yep. Actually, in comes Dragon Raider. He's going to land the Q onto Zig, and he's going to go after it, and then he changes onto the ward here. Elise shows up, so they're going to have to back off of that one and leave that ward alive with 1 hit. Ziggs, meanwhile, in the mid lane here, trading with LeBlanc. Teleport goes down bottom lane, forces Lee Sin to kick him away. And then Renekton actually abandons top lane as well. So there's a lot of CS pushing up towards that top lane, but a fight is about to break out here. And who's going to have the better positioning on Dragon after all this exchanging goes down? LeBlanc goes back, tower goes down. Lots of crazy stuff going on.
Good job by Ziggs. Like I was saying, he really needs to take that tower, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
So that's going to get dropped there. Wards are an important thing to note here as well. You got a pink ward, still not going down just yet, allowing for a little bit more map control over that area. OMG, I got ganked, comes in here, and Mr. Jiggly decides to allow Anda to walk away from this one.
You know, talking about the top lane, it really does it bothers me that they're not even looking into doing the 1v2, you know what I mean? Because they have the summoner advantage, they have all these things, and it's not saying anything against the Jax as a player, it's just regardless, even if they're both, identical skill level, you want to get advantage where you can. And the fact that they're not taking advantage of that, they're just doing straight up lanes, it kind of confuses me a little bit. And I think if one of the teams were to do the 2v1 or the 4v0 or whatever they plan to do and really abuse the fact that the Renekton didn't have TP and is such an early game character, I think that they could make a huge impact off of that, and I'm actually looking forward if they don't.
Yeah, really odd. Doctor, by the way, getting caught out here by
Support
Morgana.
1v1.
Brutal.
What a god.
Ions is going to catch out that pink ward, and actually a really nice push happening in that mid lane while all that Dragon mess was going on there. So Dragon does end up going down to blue side, but a tier 2 mid turret going down for red side.
Yeah.
Don't Let Me Fall is taking a pretty significant advantage in this one, 16.3 to 18.7. A lot of that coming from top lane.
That's the most annoying thing as an AD carry is when you're winning your lane or you're doing fine and something from top lane spills over into your map. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah. Actually, and the reverse. Oh, actually, a 5-man gank in this bottom lane. They're just going to take this turret. But they're obviously the reverse idea, because I'm playing top lane for the most part, is when you dominate top lane and then they leave, pick up 5 kills on your team. Fucking Dota players on my team, obviously. But yeah, so.
But yeah, man, that's just Renekton. Like, everyone knows the power that Renekton has early on, right? Like, he's such a lane bully. But the fact that he destroyed lane that hard and is able to roam that hard, it's just, you can't do anything. You can't have one of your lanes drop that much slack, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. They,
At the end of the day, though, he is Jax.
Yeah.
He's still a god. Doesn't matter. He's like the most broken champion in the game right now.
Yeah.
And they have Kog'Maw too, so.
Someone's a little salty, aren't they?
I've never played Jax. I know how annoying he is. It's like, okay, this guy is god mode tanky, has a million health regen, has a dodge for like seconds or whatever it is.
Yeah. You remember old Jax?
I do remember.
You just
old
dodge
Jax.
every like 2
With
seconds
dodge
and stun
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah, it was so broken. But
I miss old Italy with dodge boots, man. When you could get the dodge passive in the defensive tree. That's a long time ago.
Yep.
I think she had some sort of dodge thing when she was like in cougar form or something like that too. I forget. When she just got dodge,
It was just dumb.
passive dodge.
It was really dumb.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Same thing like crit, 3% crit or whatever it was, 4% crit.
Too OP. However, even though Jax is overpowered, clearly not doing so hot in this game. Morgana coming down to the bottom lane. The Culling goes out. Nice dodge from both of them, and they will get away from this one. Signature actually turning things around, but he gets exhausted on the backhand here. And forced to flash away, pops that ultimate in a great exchange in the end. Lee Sin and Ziggs. Oh, Ziggs on Zig action. And that's going to be a satchel to pick up the Kog'Maw here. Normalize is going to get caught between a rock and 2 hard places. She will get snapped up here, but Karma kills Morgana before going down here. OMG, I got ganked. Getting jumped on here. Not ganked, but just 1v1 straight up here. He's not going to be in a really good spot, but he will be able to turn things around and just jump back. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're going to continue a push in here. Crazy action, and so hard here, man. Gets cutlassed. So slow it down, but everybody's just going to back off.
Just to point something out about that fight that's going on along the 2 bottom lanes there. Kog'Maw W got changed where it doesn't cost mana anymore, and Zig was out of mana, so he was still able to actually fight back a little bit. I just find that funny because it's such a recent change. He would have completely screwed if he didn't have that.
Speaking of mana costs going away, that Trist queue though. Why don't people play Trist anymore? Honestly, Tristana's biggest downfall was her keep cost.
Yeah, no, she's coming back for sure.
Yeah.
I think you should just get a little bit more time and she'll be back.
Yeah.
Definitely.
She's actually before I switched to top lane, I played honestly like 500 games with Tristana.
The only thing that I could think of being an issue would be because most of her early game power comes from E, and if they're doing lane swaps and that kind of thing, where you need to freeze the lane.
Yeah.
If you're maxing E because you need it to team fight or something at some point,
What are you gonna do?
you naturally push the wave and you can't really freeze it, right?
Yep.
So that's the only thing I could think of. But I still think she's gonna be seeing more play for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so looks like Ziggs is going to get caught out here. LeBlanc jumps over that wall, flashes away, though, for Ziggs, and I think he's going to be okay. LeBlanc does drop the Ignite on that one, which is pretty unfortunate. And Morgana...
See the Morgana...
Dude, got to cool off, though.
Soil.
Dude, got to cool off that Ignite.
It's Like, god damn it, don't you get caught again, I swear to god. LeBlanc needs to work on those chains a little bit, though. There's a couple kills she could have had.
Yeah, a really nice job from the Elise there, dodging out the Ziggs ultimate with the repel. Smart stuff. By the way, can you drop from repel if there's not a minion around?
No. Well, unless there's a war, I mean, so...
Where does she even go? Is Summoner's Rift in like a
the
dome?
rafters. The rafters.
It's just like Summoner's Rift is just like in a cabin. They're all just like miniatures.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm in S5.
So yeah. All right, we're gonna have another human being in this room. So just, yeah. Okay, so off we go here. OMG, I got ganked. Is trying to fight back with his silly 104 CS against the 167. Speaking of CS, across the board, it is the advantage for red side, other than the jungle. Pretty nutty stuff.
I was gonna say they've kind of stopped the bleeding with the Jacks just like staying top and interacting, but
Oh no, kicked into the Morgana ultimate. He's gonna get stunned up here and then re-stunned. Not chaining that CC at all. Anda though going ham here, looking for the LeBlanc now, going on to Mr. Jiggly. Kog'Maw Karma step into the fray here, helping out some bros, gets the snare off. Doctor repels over the wall here as well. Lee Sin Q lands and he's gonna finish up that kill with the resonating strike kick. Tails dropping fools, or getting dropped here rather, by his signature. And Dragon Raider spotted out here by this Kog'Maw ultimate as well. This is a crazy position to be in here, actually, as Kog'Maw is going to get jumped on here. Is he going to finish up that Q? Yes, he will. Goes ham, and it's going to be Karma with the save. So real. Kog'Maw getting dropped here. Or, sorry, Kog'Maw dropping the Lee Sin. Still, the fight will continue as Ion's getting caught out here, and he's going to get snared up if the Black Shield gets broken-hearted as well. Just caught between a rock and a hard place. Morgana goes down. Mr. Jiggly trying not to die to Ziggs here, and nobody wants to die to this Ziggs. Might happen though. Signature's super low, but we'll pick up the kill in time. That was a
Support
really
of the year, man. Support of the year.
What
that
a long
Karma.
fight though.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Nuts.
That Karma deserves dinner or something from Ziggs.
Yes. All right.
Ooh.
So we have another nerd in the building. But, yeah, fight will continue on here, man. 27.8 to 30.6. Pretty close game, but 20 minutes in, I think that's a good enough lead for red side to really push us forward.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused with the way that Tails is building. Obviously, he's a much better AD player than I am, but I don't understand why he would go Zeal first.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, thank you.
I wouldn't say he's better than you.
I'm like Monty, I just
I'm
suck
sh-
at the game. I just know a little bit of things.
I'm sure if VVV would open the horizons, they probably would have chosen you first. Okay? They just didn't look hard enough. Anyways.
I appreciate that. Still, I think the Zeal first is kind of an interesting pick. Of all three of the items to pick from when you're building Trinity cores,
Yeah.
Zeal is actually the one you generally want to build last. And it's not even that, I think it's like 75 gold cheaper than Zeal or something like that, or than Sheen, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just find that odd. I don't see any reason why you would do that.
It's bullshit is what it is.
It's serious, some Dota player kind of shit, to be honest.
I'll bet you know what he did in the 10-minute break? Played a game of Dota.
Checked out the mobile fire girls.
Yeah. Yeah, Tails, man. Step it up.
Tails, come on, bro.
Let's be real. Okay, so Zolg, and how would you pronounce that acronym? Dumpf.
Yeah, I don't even know, man.
Zolg has a flow to it. That could be an actual word.
Dimp, yeah, I guess Dimp.
What would Zolg be? If Zolg was, would it be like an animal or a plant? Or...
Reminds me of the guy from Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
You know, the Zool, yeah, exactly.
Zolg.
So, like I was saying before, the way that the bleeding, I'll call it, and it's not going quickly enough, you know what I mean? Like, they're out of lane, Jackson's gonna be able to, like, free farm now, he's able to get the gold he needs to. Once he gets that Triforce, it doesn't matter. If he's got 4 Triforce, he's still Jax, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, Kog'Maw's doing pretty well. He's not, like, you know, fed and he's not farmed the best, but his Karma's doing damn well, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think there's any character, and this is going to be a really big statement to make. but I honestly don't think that any character with any 2 items can beat a Jax with Blade of the Rune King and Trinity Force.
Not unless there's a serious outplay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. Given like a completely open stadium, like if we weren't playing in the Summoner's Rift cabin, if we were in a different cabin, like just one with like no bunk beds or anything like that,
Yeah.
straight up fight, no brushes, yeah, 100%, Jax all the way.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Honestly, I'm hard pressed to find another champion except for like maybe Vayne, and even then it's
Okay,
like that. You need the outplay, right?
Just shut up.
Ooh.
Beautiful kill. All right.
Good comment.
All right, here we go. Let's see, Jax. Let's see it. You got your 2 items.
No, but okay, here's the thing though. There's 3 items. And he doesn't even have Trinity Force yet, so there's it's like 3 finished items versus
like
1 finished item.
1.2.
This is unfair. This is not a good representation, though. And going deep here, this is he's tower dove Jax at every tower so far in that top lane.
Yep.
Just check him off, you know, another notch on the belt for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's just what happens. It's when you have one lane that far ahead and has honestly forced its advantage that well. Kog'Maw damage though.
Yeah, Dragon Raider going for the goal, the field goal here, rather than actually landing the Q. Gets the Q between 2 characters here, and not really much being accomplished there other than burning Lee Sin's flash. And that's an accomplishment considering he has like a free flash every couple of seconds. Lee Sin players, just dumb. So we'll see what they can accomplish here, as it looks like Blue team is defending pretty well here, though they are down a significant chunk of gold, about 4,200, representing the prize pool. So the top play is 420, 4,200 gold, which with the
Each
currency,
gold is 10 cents.
yeah, exactly, with the currency
Very
exchange.
small pieces. It's like Summoner's
Is
gold.
this American gold or Canadian gold?
It's American gold, so it's only 10 cents a
It's not real.
sliver.
It's like gold plated
Yeah.
bronze.
Gold-plated plastic.
The treasury stands by it.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry for that.
Oh, okay.
Summoner's liquidity program.
Okay. So, anyways, in terms of positioning here, we've got, you know, by the looks of things, red team definitely encroaching on the enemy space here. No blue wards on the opposite side of the map. And that honestly has a lot to do with the mental game as well. Your momentum just goes downhill. You feel like you're trapped in. You're in a prison.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you're getting starved out, you know? Like, you just don't know what you can take. You don't know what you're giving up, when you're giving it up.
Uh-oh. Mr. Jiggly getting kicked away here. That's not going to be too effective considering she can just jump back in and clear that distance. But they will end up running away from this one. Renekton looks like he's kind of caught in a weird spot as well. And they will just chase these guys off. Lucian's going to go back here, heal himself up, probably pick up some items as well. Gets that full Trinity Force and starts building towards what I'm going to assume will be a last Whisper.
Okay, you want to know something?
Yeah.
Renekton falls off. We've kind of stopped. We kind of just assumed that he's going to have this much pressure for the entire game. And
Yeah.
I was thinking about that when you guys were going off about your currency, whatever. I have faith that Signature, Docta, and Normalize, those 3 guys can just man up and just take this game by themselves, because that Renekton is going to fall off, and he's got a vast majority of the gold in this game. On their team, especially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sure, Tails is great. And sure, the Ziggs is farming well, but I see that look in that Kog'Maw's eyes, and I know he's going for gold. He wants it, man. He wants that 4,200. He wants it.
All right.
So sick.
Yeah, 4,200 gold translates 10 cents of gold.
It's a gold piece.
Alright, and so the culling, by the way, I didn't notice this, but if you hit the culling onto Baron, it actually looks like you're fighting a boss in Ninja Turtles when it starts like flashing.
Oh man, that Baron's low.
Yeah, it is getting really low here, and a lot of that is attributed to the fact that, of course, Renekton built quite a bit of damage there.
Yeah.
But the Trinity Force, Bloodthirster combo, super good as well. Now it's like a sneaky Baron. They
That
all
was a
went over
very
the backside.
sneaky Baron, yeah.
Really good call there from these guys, taking that one down. And yeah, all of them just slid over the backside of that Baron pit. They're going to pick that one up, and that's going to lead to an even greater advantage here. Floating around 6,500 gold in the lead for Red Team. But Dragon Rider, not only is that going to be a kill, but that's going to be a Baron buff removed.
Yeah, that's a big touch for sure. That's a whole lot of pressure relieved from their team.
That's like having a karate belt color revoked. You have to just go back down.
Yeah, it's like losing your platinum status.
It's like same day. He just got that buff. You know what I mean? He was purple belt, and then just instantly taken away from focus.
Look at that trade, though. Even though they do pick up the dragon, they do lose their top lane tower.
Uh-oh, Ions gets that ultimate off onto Jax. Please tell me Morgana's not going to win this fight. Gets the slow onto Jax as well. You are the grand duelist, man. Turn around, fight like a man. He's going to keep running, though. He's got that halberd. It's quite heavy, slowing him down. It's also stifling in that helmet. Anybody?
Yeah,
Anybody?
exactly. It would have been better if it
Oh, they're looking for a pick in the jungle.
Could have been. Alright, so Anda gets hit with Kog'Maw ultimate. Clearly does 0 damage. We'll see how that plays out in the end, though, as, again, we're still maintaining a pretty good lead here. Normalized fires out that Q just blindly as well, by the way.
Yeah, I still stand by where we're at. I think they're still in this. They just gotta somehow get Signature a couple kills. If he can get a try, if he can get a last Whisper, I really do think that he could turn this game around. You know, that's the power of Kog'Maw. And if he can turn the game around, then the Jax can pick up some kills, the Jax can pick up some assists, and he'll be relevant again.
Yeah, which is tough. I mean, I wouldn't say relevant again, because maybe
He was relevant at level 1.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So level 1, sure, he could have been a little bit relevant there. But yeah, he does need to come back in this one. I honestly think, even though I was talking about the whole 2-item thing, even if you're behind 3-item Jax, so I think, okay, I'm going to make another bold statement here. 3-item Jax, Randuin's, Trinity, and Blade of the Rune King can take on any 4-item character, okay? I'm going to say it right now, and I would love to see that. Mr. Jiggly actually dives into Satchel here.
Land your chain.
No chain lands, and again, Cullen coming out there, turning these characters into Ninja Turtles bosses, and nice repel. Oh, into the Wraith Pit. He's gonna get away from this one, but Ziggs, no, he's gonna nuke him out. Picks up that kill.
That was well played.
Yeah, really, really nice job there, and again, Doctor Man put on a clinic.
Yeah, that was close, man. I was like, why didn't you repel? Oh, I know. Going for the race. And I love how he like doesn't hit it by accident too and like take damage from race and die, you know?
Yeah. Which is tough, honestly.
Yeah, no, you're freaking panicking.
You gotta be precise. And of course, when you're a challenger level player, it helps to have those kind of mechanics. Now Tails taking a beating here from Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's super hard. And this is what you were talking about, man. He's got that red buff and he's got vision on his opponents right now. Super long range. Mr. Jiggly getting in there, and you were talking about this before, man. Kog'Maw shells out so much damage, but is it going to be enough?
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there. But will it come soon enough? You're right.
No, that's why I said it.
I was going to say, the Jax was able to take on the Lee Sin, so that's someone you can want to go on, you know? He's getting there. He's getting there.
There is a silver lining here.
There is.
And that whole silver lining is Lee Sin's weakness. The fact that he only has that... Well, actually, he can fight him too because he's got a Banshee. He doesn't have any armor built on his character right now.
Yep.
Outside of the flat armor that we saw in his Quint's page.
He's worried about the karma.
Or his rune page. Signature going forward here. He's got the shield from Karma, and wow, he shells out a lot of damage. Even trading with Anda here on the back foot. Not a lot.
You know what you just said?
What?
Karma. The Canadian accent on the car.
Yeah.
Karma.
Yeah, well, it's a Canadian tournament, man.
I guess. Ward.
Word. All right. This is, again, I think, this is that stage, though. You remember this last time? Eye of the Storm.
Yeah.
Very quiet. The problem is that the team that's ahead also has the inhibitor down, so it was kind of a reverse. Actually, no, that's true. The team that was ahead did have 2 inhibitors down, but they just made a misplay, which was a fate. In this game, no global presence really from either team. And there's only one teleport with Jax.
And it really hasn't been used.
Yes, it really has not.
Yeah. We also noticed that Tails is going for that, whatchamacallit, the Yunu's Ghostblade build again.
Yep.
We saw him pull that out in the last game. I thought it was kind of just, a little bit of messing around, but he seems to be a really big fan of it. all about that culling damage.
Yeah, and it's going to be finished up right now, so we'll see how that plays out for him. Obviously, when he does pop the culling, it's going to be a little bit longer, a little bit more damage.
That could be why he actually went for that seal earlier, because that's the only thing I can think of is that it does increase a little bit more damage you get on your culling because it's based off the attack speed, right?
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's really interesting. That's not a very commonly seen build, but obviously he likes it. I guess I gotta give it a shot.
No, I think we're going to have to go take a step back here, and I think he's wrong again. I really think that he's been making a lot of misplays with his builds here. He's got to slow down and think about this.
There isn't that much armor on the team yet,
Yep.
so he doesn't need the armor pen. And when you're building a Trinity Force, it doesn't really give you the crit required to make the most out of something like the Infinity Edge.
Yep.
So in a way, it makes sense. I guess it might just be preference that over a Last Whisper or something like that, because it really does punish the fact that the opposing team hasn't been able to buy armor yet. It punishes the fact that Jax is top, you know?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely working out for at least for the most part for Red Team right now, but I don't know if they're going to be able to continue this one. You know, it's slowed down significantly. You were talking about that slow bleed. They needed to pick up the pace here, and they definitely did that. But as of recently, it's been slowing down
but
here.
yeah,
Man.
no, like you noticed, Jax is able to farm that super minion wave, right?
Yep.
Even losing that inhibitor has kind of been an advantage for them in a way. Sure, they've lost sight and everything like that, control in their jungle, but I mean, Baron's down. They don't need to really contest anything right now. So, yeah, they're getting that late game.
Also-
Jax is finally building some health, too.
Also important to note, Jack's the only character that hasn't been around when an enemy dies on either team. Uh-oh, we got a stack happening here, though. Morgana jumps in there. Lee Sin finds Docta, who repels and then actually lands on the ward? I didn't know you could do that. Anyways, continuing forward here, Ziggs picks up Docta. Finally, OMG, I got ganked in the middle of the enemy team there. Not working out for him, though, as Mr. Jiggly finds a snare on Anda. Not the right guy to get. Tails drops Mr. Jiggly, and now we've got a 3-4-0 situation occurring here. Zig's the only one going pretty low, but in the end, obviously, giant win here for the side of Do Not Let Me Fall.
The start of that fight was pretty close. It wasn't a blowout. They did get the pick too, right? They were able to kind of like get Docta in the middle and take a whole bunch of damage. So if they can't capitalize on this again, if they don't get anything more than an inhibitor here, not the end of the world. Still another setback, another 5 minutes out of the game if it's going to be a turnaround. But
Yeah, and we're moving forward. Furnace still a load of bull. The fact that he's still alive. Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
So, in my opinion, I would not be surprised if they look to set up a pick here, actually. Because I have a feeling the blue side is going to try and chase them out. And, okay, so they are going to base. They have a lot of gold, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do try and make something else happen.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Baron. At the very least, even though they have some gold in the bank, which if we take a look, it's, yeah, everybody's over 1,000 right now. Average, I'd say, on the team is about 1,600. So they definitely want to go back and shop. At the very least, everybody can pick up a needlessly large rod.
Yeah, they know that the threat is there. They know that Kog'Maw's crazy late game. They know Jax is crazy late game with long. You know, like the possibility of them moving is very apparent to them. And it kind of shows why they're playing it safe because they don't want to throw. But that's the thing, you can't play safe. You need to really like enforce your advantage and end the game out.
Yeah, and you definitely want to do it on the enemy's side of the map. At the very least, even if you lose a fight, you can either take down a turret in the process, or be guaranteed that you have that extra travel time for them to get to your base, so that you can just hold on.
So he does have the last whisper completed now, and just in time for Jax grabbing his armor. Looks like he's going for a Sunfire Cave, or maybe he's building that into a GA, just sitting on the giant spell.
Yeah, massive push coming in here, and that's going to force blue team to head back. Dragon Raider probably just going to tank up this turret here. And yeah, Lucian's just going to start dropping this one. Morgana in the background here, stepping into things now. Wow, that was actually a really nice rush down there, as they have a significant advantage in terms of the towers that are cracked. They have all their tier 2s up on red side, 10,000 gold in the lead, and that Baron buff, which is still sticking around here. A little less than half left on that, and they need to make a play. Like you said, they need to speed up the bleed and use the Baron buff that they have, get a little bit more aggressive on these guys.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with that's what happens when you lose that kind of ward control. You open yourself up to being rotated on and losing those kinds of just tower damage for free because you can't see where they are. You don't know where they're gonna go. You don't know who's back. You don't know like how much time you have. And red side obviously took advantage of that.
Yeah, Mr. Jiggly being very bold there. Definitely could have gotten snared at the end of that jump, but she will get away from that one. Very tense moment here. See, don't let me fall. Making the push. Cullen comes out, and like you said, it's going to be that Yumu's that's helping him out to get a little bit more damage off. Tower goes down. Looking for the snare, but the flash forward with the Morgana ultimate, but she doesn't have time to zone you, so she gets dropped. OMG, I got ganked on top of Tails here. Tails is going to go down. No, he actually stays alive. Beautiful Lee Sin kick going bowling here. Gets 2 characters in that one. Double kill for Ziggs, and they will just continue to push forward here. Relentless aggression, and surprising, Morgana got dropped so quickly, but in the end, they're still able to turn that fight around. Just the gold advantage, way too strong right now. Ziggs bombs. His 3 characters. Satchel goes down as well. Anda in the fray. Signature so low. Is he going to survive? E goes out. Slow needs to come down. Culling number 2 comes out. That's going to drop Karma, and they will continue on towards the Nexus. Super minions on the front line. Down goes the Nexus, and game 2 in favor of Don't Let Me Fall.
That was a mistake by the Morgana. However, because she did not Zonia's, the burst from LeBlanc was put onto her, and that allowed the rest of the team to clean up. The Morgana's there, kind of just for the shield, just for the ult. So
Yep.